Hi and welcome to WarHQ. My name is Lucious. Today we'll be doing something a little different, being a Gaslands Refueled build, I guess. So what I have here in front of me are 4 models of cars that we're going to turn into a slime team, which is basically like Australian Mad Max kind of theme. What they are here is in their base form. So we've got a couple of hot rods. We have a VW Beetle pickup, which is pretty cool, and some sort of Chevy or something. But what I'll be doing is converting these today from start to finish, just to show you how I built them. Have a couple of little props here. I've got a couple of ideas of what I want to do. First one, I have this old Flames of War Grant platoon. So this will give me a couple of guys that are like, you know, sitting in turrets and stuff. But the good thing with this Grant platoon is, you have a look on the back here, I've used them as Grants, but they actually have the Lee turrets as well, so, and the driver as well, like the commander. So what I'll be able to do with those is one of these vehicles, probably this one with a flat top, I can put a like a 360 degree turret on, which I will magnetize. Also came across, just on the theme, there's some World War I German infantry, 1 for 72 scale. Some of these might be quite cool, like to have as crew, because I did note on the back here, there's a guy down here who has like a sort of like a stick thing that looks like it has a grenade on it. There's some machine gunners, there's guys with guns, there's guys laying down. So be able to convert these for crew on these cars. And over here for our first step, what I have is our drill and paint stripper. So that'll be the first step. So I might get on with that. Okay, so some of the preparation has been done on these. We've drilled them out, separated them. What we have now is 4 bodies. Did find out that these 2 at the back were plastic, so I didn't paint strip them. Obviously would have melted them, so I just primed them with a Corax white Citadel, which worked pretty good. The front 2 were metal, so I used this this brand's called Poly paint stripper you can get from Bunnings. Yeah, worked pretty well. Within about 5 minutes I could just peel it off basically and rub it off, all that stuff. Primed some of the inside body bits that were chromy, and these bits are sort of just hidden underneath, so I don't really care. I can cover them up as I go. So that is the next step, and yeah, we'll move on to the next. Okay, so following day, spent a bit of time at night making these through yesterday afternoon. Pretty happy with how they come out for my first sort of go at Gaslands conversions. So I was just going to go through each of these individually, give you a bit of an idea of what I had in mind. Being a new player to Gaslands too, hey, and welcome to any comments of how I should run these. I'll go over just a couple of ideas that I had. Obviously being quite new to it, I could be wrong, but Slime seems to rely very heavily on rams, so I've pushed heavily on that, which I think would be pretty handy. So if you have a look here, this model is quite cool. So I've converted that VW pickup truck into basically this battle box. So it's got extra armor plating here at the doors. These are like leather press stud kind of things. Come up quite cool as a door thing. Now, the engine here, I put like a big ram shield. So this is from, I picked this up from one of my models. It's ancient Greek battle game, which is pretty cool. Now, I've filled in the back with this bit of copper plate sheet that I had, and also put on this turret. So you can see here, this turret can rotate 360 if you want. So I put a magnet, you have a look at that, magnets in there, magnets in the bottom. So pretty cool. I've got this, I used for the windows, it's sort of like a screen mesh for doors, but it's quite a thick one. It looks quite cool and natural, and just cut it and leave it raw. Looks like they've just sort of, you know, whacked it on there, and they're slime. Obviously, they're not that classy. These things are really sharp. I hope I don't ever step on these or anything, or tread on them with my feet, because they're like little nail tacks, which you can get from Bunnings. You know, you can buy them in a box of like 500 for nothing. So pretty cheap. As I said to you at the start, this is the Lee turret from those Grant Lee tanks. So you could take that as a 125mm cannon, or you could downgrade it to something else. I mean, obviously it's very expensive to take as the rotating cannon. I think it works out to be 18 points or something, which is pretty steep. And over here we've got like a gunner in the passenger door. So yeah, as you guys from that start bit, I use the 1 for 72 World War I German models because they're great scale. I mean, perfect scale for these cars, these Hot Wheel cars. But also they look really good too, and a bit post-apocalyptic with their spike helmets and stuff like that. I just want to give them a bit of a more of a punky look to it. So yeah, that's the truck that I have in mind for using. So it's pretty cool. It's kind of like the main tank of the force, I guess. Yeah. Okay, so the second car, and this is kind of like, I think this is what I would call my, flag car, I guess, or flagship car. Taking this hot rod as a high performance car. I thought it was maybe a bit big for a buggy, but I'm taking it as a high performance car. You can see here, look, it's got the wheel spikes. They look pretty cool. These here, again, are Craftsman. So this is, again, for leather. On the other side of these, they look like this. So that makes a good ram as well, like for the front of the car, like something to butt into things if you want. You've got the spikes here and the spikes in the wheel, which could go as rams either side and front if you wanted to. Got a gun on the top. This one, I think it's for anyone who's into Warhammer 40,000, a Drukari gun, just from your standard Cabalite troops. But yeah, I've cut off a lot, so it looks fairly standardized. I didn't really have a machine gun. I've gone for just using whatever I've got at the moment. So yeah, this one, high performance, I'd probably give it some perks as well, because these guys have the tuning ability and reckless as well. So I think, this one's going to be the one winning the race, I guess, if it can get ahead. This top-mounted gun. I also put like a little oil. This here, you could either use that as a dropping oil slicks. It's like a little barrel, or I think I'm going to use it for mines, so I can like drop mines and or napalm, from the back of it. I think that'd be pretty cool because I picture this one in the lead as my main pole position car. This could drop these things, so like like a mine or an oil slick or something behind it if you wanted to. Yeah, that's the second car. Third car in the build is just pretty standard. I've taken this as just a normal car. Now, I've used the same grates and the same tacks on this. There's another shield at the front. These little spikes at the front, which are quite cool on this sort of car, they're from the gun that's on this. It was spikes in the front of this Drukari gun, like sort of like a bayonet. So I recycled those and put it on there. This here is tank stowage. So like these are like tank tracks. I've put as extra armor on either side of the car and armor on the front. So this car's obviously got armor plating. I quite like this. This is what I wanted to do with that model. It's sort of crazy, slime dude hanging off the back of it. I'll put some sort of rope or chain that he's holding onto. He's holding onto the grate here, and he's got this bumper, sort of back bumper thing to sort of hold onto as well. But yeah, I picture this guy with like, one of those sort of those stick grenade things like from Mad Max. He's kind of using something like that. And you can throw it at cars. So this does have grenades, this car attached to it. And here's another little cool feature on the back here. I found an old miniature from Reaper. And this was sort of like the bases that used to come with them with the Reaper logo, but I put it on the back as sort of like a back protector bumper. So anyone tries to rear end them. And it says Reaper, which is sort of pretty cool with this sort of car as well. Pretty happy with that one. Looks pretty badass. Okay, so the final car in the conversion squad is this sort of originally was like a hot rod kind of thing. It's got the wheel spikes, same as the other one. They're pretty good. It's got these nails. These are a bigger nail than those tacks. So I've got them at the back. I've got them at the front as well. Got the grate, same as the door grate that I used on the other one. This one has like a little thing I've put at the back just in case, again, for like a drop weapon. It could be anything really. So I've just put it there just to indicate that it's got a drop weapon. You could use it as that. If you have a look at the front here, it's got this awesome kind of... I got this from anyone knows Warhammer again. This front piece was from the Warcry starter set, and it's like a griffin or something, and it was meant to be like a statue which goes onto their terrain. So I thought it made a really cool ram at the front of this, like smash into it with that. And again, I've got one of my little, slime German World War One inspired dudes with a grenade coming out of the door at the top there, the sunroof. So yeah, he's throwing grenades. So this is another theme of my team. I sort of wanted to have grenades, so I've got this guy over here, and then this dude as well. Yeah, like sort of grenade chucking. They've got that blitz rule. Thought that'd be cool. You just keep throwing grenades at things until it pops, I guess. But yeah, that's just another little conversion. So in conclusion, I mean, now I've got the hobby side of this done with the modelling, and I've got to say it was super fun. It's definitely recommend. I mean, I felt a bit weird standing around Kmart with mums and kids looking at me going through all these hundreds of cars that they've got there, but I mean, ultimately, I had heaps of fun making these. I've got nephews coming around tomorrow, so I might give it a game. Obviously, they won't be painted for them, but we'll get the idea. So from here, I think testing these cars out in some game situations, we might do a bat rep. I mean, primarily WarHQ or a kill team channel, but just for something fun, we're going to give this a go, just for a bit of variation. So I hope you like this content. If you do, yeah, please have a look at our channel. We will be putting more Gaslands Refueled stuff on here as well, as our main content, which I said before is Kill Team. But yeah, if you like this, please think about liking, subscribing to the channel. I'll make a separate playlist within our videos themselves, so you can find, if you're just interested in Gaslands, for example, you can just have a look at the Gaslands builds and bat reps that we'll probably end up doing. Yeah, and for now, thank you very much for watching, and this is WarHQ, and we're signing out.